"I don't love you anymore," he said cold and flat, not even looking me in the eye. I held the tears back, just barely. I felt my stomach lurch and my whole world begin to spin. Every terrible nightmare I'd had for years was finally coming true. He was throwing me away. Throwing us away. Every ounce of my self-loathing roared with delight. "You're fat. You're ugly. You're disgusting. You're worthless. You're going to die alone. No one will ever want you again." It screamed in my ear. I felt lightheaded. I felt stupid. I could barely ask the question, the terrible question I already knew the answer to. "Is it about her?" I asked, and hated myself for how my voice cracked and shook. A moment, a quiver in his cheek, shame in his eyes, and then he looked down, suddenly fascinated by his shoes. He knew exactly who I was talking about. Her name had come up again and again and again for months now, out of nowhere, like he couldn't control himself. And every time he said her name, he smiled in a way that felt like a knife against my throat. "Tara, from work," he called her. Tara, who was 28. Tara, who he was mentoring. Tara, who looked up to him. Tara, whose body his children hadn't destroyed. Tara, who hadn't stood by him through hell for years. Tara, who understood him in a way I just didn't anymore. Tara, who made him smile. Tara, who he loved now that he didn't love me anymore. Tara, who wasn't going to be single in her 40s. Tara, who wasn't going to be alone. Tara, that bitch. "Get out!" I screamed. "Get out!" And he did, leaving me alone in the big house we'd built a life in together, a life he was throwing away. No, he wasn't throwing life away. He was throwing me away. Just like so many men had thrown so many women away, or even just ignored and made to feel worthless. When we get too old, or too fat, or too bitter, or too fed up with the BS they fed us. Fed up with the lies. I admit it. I felt like I'd rather be dead as I lay there sobbing on the floor, hating myself, hating him. It was the worst moment of my life. But also, and I know this doesn't make sense yet, it was also the best. Because as strange as it sounds, that terrible moment led to the discovery of a women's weight loss secret, a secret that reversed my type 2 diabetes, had me shed 40 pounds in just 58 days without drugs or dangerous surgery, leaving my know-it-all doctor absolutely shocked and questioning everything that he had learned in medical school. It gave me the energy I had as a teenager, and the sex drive I thought I'd lost for good. A secret that didn't just save my marriage, but had my husband crawling back to me, treating me like a queen, practically worshiping the ground I walked on. A secret that gave me all the power and control. A secret that gave me my best body. A secret that led to my ultimate revenge. Need some proof? Here's a picture of me around the time John left. And here's one I took last week. And I promise you, I did that without doing anything you would call exercise. Because as a mom, I simply don't have the time. Without starving myself, people regularly ask me how I stay so thin when they see me gorging myself at restaurants. And without giving up any of my favorite foods, without taking any dangerous supplements, without feeling like I was dieting at all. And that whole transformation only took 58 days. Really quick and really important, if you think you already know this incredible women's weight loss secret, I promise you, you're wrong. Vacuuming away belly fat, reversing type 2 diabetes and heart disease in its tracks, and turning back the clock on your muscles, skin, and joints. Because as unbelievable as it sounds, this simple secret that doesn't take any extra time out of your already overpacked day flips a chemical switch and completely transforms a woman's body. So what's the secret? Well, I've got good news for you. I'm going to tell you exactly what the secret is in just 184 seconds. That's just over 3 minutes. But that's not all. I'm also going to reveal 3 gut-wrenching weight loss lies that women have been fed for decades. Lies I had to go through hell to learn myself, that turned me into my own body's worst enemy when it came to health and weight loss. I know you want to know. And like I said, I'm going to tell you. But first, it's incredibly important that I share my own devastating story of how I was forced to learn this secret the hard way. How I came to share it with thousands of women around the world who got their ultimate revenge too. And how this secret almost utterly destroyed me. Stop being such a victim. I heard John's voice whisper again and again in my head. His favorite line for years whenever I complained about my weight. Was he right? Was that what I was doing? I looked over the empty tubs of Ben & Jerry's and the potato chip bags, the fast food trash littering the kitchen counter. It had been 3 days since John walked out. He said he'd only be gone a week, that we couldn't afford a mortgage and rent while we worked out the divorce. But for now, I was alone. So I did what I've always done for 43 years whenever anything went wrong. I buried my feelings in food. And here I was again, disgusted with myself. Feeling sorry for myself, wanting to stop. But just eating and eating and eating. How dare he? I asked myself as I walked one labored step at a time to the bathroom. How dare he when he hadn't looked at me like he loved me or given me a reason to care about how I looked in almost a decade? And it's not like he was in great shape or anything, chugging his beers every night. And I won't even get into the fact that he hadn't touched me, much less bothered to have sex with me, unless I threw myself at him in so long I didn't even want to remember. And then I looked in the mirror. And maybe for the first time, I really saw her. The fat, sad woman I'd become. The fat, sad woman I'd stopped loving way before John did. I can't do this anymore, I moaned between gasping sobs. I have to do something. And that's when I decided I'd had enough. This time would be different. This time I would lose the weight and keep it off. What's that old whatever it is? Looking good is the best revenge. I wasn't going to look good. I was going to look great. I was going to make him gnaw his heart out and then tell him I didn't want him because he was too old and too weak and too fat. No matter what it took, I would get my body back. I would get myself back. And most of all, I would get my revenge on John and Tara. On every man and woman who'd made me feel ashamed of myself for being fat since I gained my baby weight with my first child and never managed to lose it. And do you know what happened then? I bet you do. I bet it's happened to you. I picked myself up and told myself this time would be different. And this time I would have the self-control. And just like every other time I tried to diet, I failed miserably. I still remember how much I beat myself up for not being able to control myself before I learned this secret. I mean, weight loss is simple, right? Skinny people tell you that all the time. What's the basic advice they always give you like it's something new? Eat less, exercise more. Yeah. Well, I don't know about you, but no matter how much I try to get into the habit and become one of those annoying people who love the gym, personally, I hate exercise. I hate going to work out and feeling like a blob compared to the younger women in their tight little yoga pants. Besides, I have 2 kids and a job. How the heck am I supposed to find time to take a stairway to nowhere on one of those machines every week? And as for food, I don't know if it's like this for you, but I love food. I love it, and in a weird way, I always felt like it loved me too. I mean, my whole life. Food is what comforts me when life gets so hard. Like when my teenage daughter got pregnant her junior year of high school. Food is how I celebrate when times are good, like when she graduated with honors anyway. Food is how I show love to my family and my kids. And here's the first thing you have to learn for this to work. Food is not the enemy. You don't have to starve yourself to lose weight. In fact, that will just make you fatter long term. Do you want to know why every diet you've tried has failed in the past? It's not because you're weak. It's not because there's something wrong with you. It's because all those diets, when you get right down to it, were created by skinny people who actually like exercising and like eating like rabbits. They don't love food the way you and I do. They don't understand what it means to give up a part of yourself by turning meal times that should be joyous into another torturous session of depriving yourself. And that's why none of those diets have worked for you. Because they turn food and your lack of willpower into the enemy, when really, when it comes to weight loss, food is a woman's best friend. And you probably need to start eating more, not less, if you want to lose weight. So promise me right now that you'll give up on this idea that food is the enemy and that your weight is somehow your fault. Only then can I show you the secret that's helped so many thousands of women get their revenge already. Women like Sharon. I mean, just look at Sharon. Look at those pictures. Look how happy she is. Now, after her husband left her for someone else, she's with a guy several years younger than herself, and she's so happy and confident with the weight she's lost and the body she has. Congratulations, Sharon. I'm so happy for you. Oh my gosh, I haven't even introduced myself. Hi, my name is Joni. I don't think I ever actually said that yet. Yes, that was really me in the pictures. And the reason I just shared so much intimate information about myself is because I want you to know that I get it. I've beat myself up just like you have. I've been there. And I want you to know, if you've ever felt worthless, if you've ever felt cast aside, if you've ever even felt ugly, if you've ever hated the person you saw in the mirror, I'm here to tell you that there really is a way out, and you really do not need to feel that way ever again. You don't deserve that. No one deserves that. I wanted to pick up my computer and smash it with a hammer. See, after John left, I decided this time was going to be different. I tried everything to lose weight and look and feel better about myself. I tried fad diets like intermittent fasting and cleanses and no carbs, and they all left me hungry and miserable and doubled my grocery bill and took forever to prepare. I did insane exercise routines that made me think I was going to die, at least for a week or so. when I actually did them. I joined online accountability clubs and tried every fad, every miracle. I even tried one of those magic pills, the ones advertised on the internet, fat burners, they call them. At first, it was great. I had more energy, and my son Toby even told me I looked thinner. It was wonderful. The pounds were sliding off. I found myself fantasizing about the look in John's eyes when he saw me. But then tragedy struck. The magic pill wasn't so magic after all. It turned out all my years of letting myself go had weakened my heart. And all the extra energy those unregulated pills gave me had put too much strain on it. I felt the sharp pain down my right arm. I barely managed to dial 911 on my cell phone. I had a heart attack at the age of 43. A minor one, the doctor said. And then he made me promise never to touch those things again. Sure, I'd been feeling a little lightheaded, but I had no idea those pills could actually be dangerous. But he said those pills are basically natural speed, and that he deals with people every day going through what just happened to me. By the end, I'd spent over $7,000 on diets, classes, pills, and medical bills, thanks to our crappy insurance. I was almost suicidal with depression and was 7 pounds heavier than when I started. I look back and wonder why I didn't give up. But it was then, when I was at my absolute lowest, recovering from my trip to the hospital, feeling beaten and useless, that I finally discovered the truth. Because that's when I stopped waiting for a hero to come fix this for me. That's when I decided to take my weight and my health into my own hands and be my own hero. See, stuck in bed as I was recovering, I had something I hadn't had since before the kids invaded our lives and stole my body from me. Time to read. So I pored over scientific websites myself and read study after study. I was always pretty good at science in school and was able to figure out most of the gobbledygook. I discovered a few facts about women and weight loss that shocked me and changed everything. Instead of trusting online gurus or even the government to tell me what was good for me, I went right to the source and discovered a few things I want to share with you. And eventually, I found out 3 big weight loss lies that have been keeping you fat and pouring money into the diet industry's pockets your entire life. Lie number 1. Women can't lose weight as easy as men. I'd been told this one my entire life. Women need more fat, they'd say. It's harder for women to lose weight. But it's a lie. Yes, women are designed to have children, so our bodies try to store fat more often than men do. But when you follow the simple methods that transform my life and the lives of so many thousands of other women, you'll turn on the fat-burning switch in your body so you can eat pretty much whatever you want and still lose weight. Lie number 2. You have to spend a lot of time embarrassing yourself at the gym doing cardio to lose fat. This is a lie. I don't know about you, but I get plenty of cardio every day, cleaning the house, taking the kids to school, doing my job, and shopping for whatever the family needs. If you're like me, you don't have time for hours upon hours of cardio in the gym every week. The truth is, a busy day of moderate activity is all the body needs to burn fat. When you do what I did, your body is going to be burning fat all day long, whether you are running a marathon or binging a little on Netflix. Lie number 3. Don't eat foods high in fat. I have to tell you, after years and years of depriving myself, this one made me angry. After digging through scientific study after scientific study, and I discovered that far from being the enemy, fat is actually the key to losing weight and keeping it off. See, I don't want to get into the medical jargon, but the short version is that your body wants to use fat for fuel. In fact, the reason it's so easy for us to put on extra pounds is because your body is trying to store away those extra calories like a squirrel putting away nuts for the winter. Learn this and make it your mantra. If you want to burn fat, you need to eat fat. That's really all there is to it. Now, I'm not saying you can live on nothing but brownies or cupcakes, though that does sound pretty great. But I am saying you can have all the cupcakes and brownies you want while following the simple system I've designed and still lose all the weight you want. Learning those 3 lies and discovering the tiny little women's weight loss secret they led to lit a spark in me like nothing else had. I thought I finally had the answer. All I needed was time to figure things out and get myself back and maybe save my family. But time was one thing I didn't have. I'm sorry. I don't want to hurt you, but I deserve to be happy and I'm moving in with her, he said. My heart hurt worse than when I had my heart attack. Watching him pull out of the driveway with his car full of stuff. I was shaking with tears running down my cheeks. He tried to hug me goodbye, which I was not having. I hope someday we can be friends. And he got in the car and pulled away. After all I had done for him, he didn't want me anymore. I wasn't good enough for him anymore. I walked inside. I opened the freezer for the ice cream. And then something strange happened. I've never been comfortable showing anger or even admitting that I have it. But for the first time ever, I really let myself be mad. Not just at John, but at myself. I spent so much time, 23 years with him, 20 as his wife, taking care of John and the kids, sacrificing everything for them. But what about me? What about my happiness? What about my needs? See, every time I had failed at losing weight and keeping it off, it had come down to 3 things. First, I just don't have the time to work out hours every day to get into shape. All the advice I'd gotten about weight loss had told me that I had to exercise every day, join some monthly club, or pay an expensive trainer. But I'm not rich. I don't have a maid and a nanny and somebody to cook dinner and somebody to magically pay the bills. I don't have time for that. And I don't know any other woman who does. Second, too many programs just wanted me to buy some specially formulated product made in China, full of ingredients I couldn't even pronounce, with no actual science to back them up. And third, I'd trusted somebody else to tell me what to do. Somebody who knew nothing about what it was like to be real. To be a real woman with real women's problems. With John gone, I decided to do something I had literally never done before. I decided to put myself first. For once, I was going to focus on my happiness. For once, I was going to make myself happy. I got to work like a woman possessed. Hours went by, days, I lost track of time. I read countless self-help books, most of them full of BS, buried myself in scientific papers on weight loss, and learned everything I could about how women's bodies work and the relationship between our hormones and our weight. All of it with one goal: to figure out a system that would work for regular, average women. Women like me. And women just like you. I almost gave up so many times. All that sorting through bogus research, made up diet fads, pyramid schemes designed to sell you supplements that don't do 1/50th of what they promise. But then, one day, something clicked. I discovered the 3 rules that all my weight loss success and the success of thousands of other women are built on. After 2 months of research and solitude, my best girlfriends finally convinced me to go out. I didn't want to. I wanted to keep working. I'd built a whole system around my 3 rules and everything I'd learned in my research. A simple system even I could do without having to rely on willpower, without having to set a foot in the gym, without ever depriving myself. I didn't think I was ready, but my girlfriends convinced me that I did need to get out of the house. So I agreed to meet them for happy hour, and I figured I would put on my favorite dress because I always liked the way I looked in it, even when I was heavy. When it came time to get dressed, I realized it didn't fit. I looked like a little girl trying on her mom's clothes. My favorite shoes didn't fit either. Everything was too big. I couldn't believe it. Even my feet had gotten smaller. In a panic, I ran to the store to find something to wear and found myself trying on clothes I would have been petrified to look at myself in before I lost the weight. I think I made the salesperson's day. I wish I had a picture of the look on my friends' faces when I arrived at the restaurant. They were shocked, happy, and jealous. They all gushed how I looked 10 years younger and how John would feel if he could see me then. While I was walking back to my car, a guy who must have been 8 or 9 years younger than me actually came over and asked me for a date. The first time that's happened since college. After drinks, my friend Katie sent me a text that shocked me. Katie has always been the pretty one in the group. She always had all the stories about guys chasing her and doing anything to be with her. I remember one time she ran off to Australia for the summer because this rich guy wanted to sweep her off her feet. We were in our 20s then, and I can't even tell you how much I wished I could be her that day. Like I said, she was at drinks, but she'd been so quiet the whole time. She'd gained a few pounds, like everybody does as we get older, but I guess it hit her hard. Katie, who was always so confident, sent me this. Help me. I know you don't want to tell anybody, but I need to know what you've been doing. Please. She came over the next day, and I showed her my lab, the spare bedroom in the basement where I'd set up my computer. The place Katie still jokingly called hallowed ground because of how that day changed her life. I used Katie as my lab rat. I sent her home with a printout of my whole system and told her to call me if she had questions. And every time she had a question, I made sure to go back and simplify things. And she had a lot of questions. Maybe it's because she could always get by on her looks, but even Katie would tell you herself she's no genius. And I can't tell you how proud I was when Katie started shrinking too. Look, this is a note I got from Katie. She talked about how sad she was, how depressed. And then, look at her now. She feels amazing. And she used my system, and look, she's so happy. And I'm so glad for you, Katie. Next was Katie's sister, Allie. I guess Katie couldn't help herself and let Allie photocopy the whole thing. I was a little mad at first, but then Allie lost 11 pounds in 2 weeks. And that was just the beginning. I was shocked. I mean, I'm not a diet guru, I'm not a scientist, but somehow I discovered something powerful, something special, something that could change how women looked at and feel about our bodies forever. And then, of course, the floodgates opened. Suddenly, I started getting all these friend requests on Facebook. Friends of Allie, friends of Katie, friends of friends. All these women who were sick and tired of being ignored and feeling old before their time. So, one by one, I shared my method. Shared my secrets, shared my rules, shared my system. And one by one, women who had been beating themselves up and failing to lose weight for years just transformed. One night over drinks, Katie called my system the revenge diet because of how it had started. And that kind of stuck. It became the ultimate diet revenge. Then one night, John showed up at my door, drunk and crying. She'd left him. Tara, I mean. She'd called him old and fat and boring and left him. Oh, the irony. He said he'd been following me on Facebook. He said he was proud of me. He said he wanted to see me in person and apologize, wanted to get me back, wanted to get us back. A part of me wanted to drop everything for him like I had for 24 years. But I didn't. I heard the hurt and the desperation in his voice, and I thought of this life that I'd built since he'd left. The men who were paying attention to me, the freedom I felt. I told him it was nice to see him. I gave him a hug and told him to go so I could get back to work on my new mission. Of course, that's not the end of my story with John, and I'll tell you the rest of that in a minute. But in the meantime, I got back to work, perfecting my program, which my friends and clients had basically forced me to share with the world. A program I call the Ultimate Diet Revenge. I know. The word revenge sounds a little harsh. But the more I worked on this program and the more astonished messages I got from women who followed these simple instructions, the more I realized that that's what this really is. It's revenge. Not just on men like my husband, but on the whole damn diet industry that has lied to us again and again and again, telling us some fancy new device or diet or exercise program was going to change everything. When the truth about how women lose weight and how women keep weight off and feel slim and healthy and beautiful, no matter how old you are, has been right there waiting for us the entire time. Remember, the Ultimate Diet Revenge program doesn't take any extra effort on your part at all. No cooking fancy recipes that take hours to get right and cost an arm and a leg at the supermarket. No embarrassing yourself by walking into a gym full of 20-somethings who secretly laugh at the fat old lady on the Stairmaster. No dangerous miracle pills that do terrible damage to your body without you even knowing it, which landed me in the hospital with thousands of dollars in medical fees. And no memberships or monthly fees that do nothing but make your bank account thinner and thinner while doing nothing at all for the real woman who needs real help. The Ultimate Diet Revenge is like no diet program you've ever seen because it's designed by a real woman for real women like you. Using this program, like Katie and Allie and so many others already have, involves no exercise more strenuous than walking to the fridge. No starving yourself. In fact, you can eat as much as you want. No spending hours and hours you don't have in the kitchen, because I know extra time is a thing no woman has these days. The Ultimate Diet Revenge gives you the exact 3 rules that transformed weight loss for me and thousands of other women, so you can eat all you want while looking and feeling 10, 20, or even 30 years younger than you actually are. And creates an almost done-for-you system, guiding you like a map from where you are now to the body you've always wanted and always deserved. I know you don't have time to dig through tons of research like I did. And I only had the time because I had a heart attack. That's why the first thing I want to give you is the Ultimate Diet Revenge 7-Day Simple Jumpstart. Around the house, I call this printed willpower because it's designed to make getting started as easy as falling off a log. In the Jumpstart, you'll learn the exact 3 rules that transformed weight loss for me and thousands of other women. So you can eat all you want while looking and feeling 10, 20, or even 30 years younger than you actually are. Plus, I'll give you the done-for-you revenge shopping list full of the affordable, delicious foods you'll be using to flip the switch on your metabolism. And before you ask, yes, you can have cookies and ice cream and whatever your favorite comfort foods are too. Once you've gone through the Jumpstart, you'll dive into the 6-week Ultimate Revenge Transformation Program. This is the exact system me, Katie, Allie, every testimonial you've heard, and thousands of women around the world have used to absolutely transform your body for good in just 6 short weeks. No guesswork, no measuring grams of food, no choking down stuff that barely qualifies as food, no depriving yourself, and absolutely no going to the gym. Simply follow the step-by-step done-for-you instructions and you'll marvel as the pounds melt off your body. As your energy shoots through the roof and as you find yourself smiling giddily like a kid on Christmas morning for no reason at all. And after you put this program into action, your husband or other men are going to be begging to take you out. That's why I'm giving you the Restaurant Survival Guide, how to eat out guilt-free and eat what you want when you want. So you're not stuck meal prepping in the kitchen. This diet works anywhere. How to find revenge-friendly foods on any restaurant menu, no matter how bad for you a place looks at first glance. That means you'll never have to be the person with eating restrictions at the table and can eat wherever you want. And I mean wherever you want. I don't know about you, but I love fast food. Have ever since I was a kid. And the idea of never being able to grab a burger again makes a little part of me die. That's why I've included a special section specifically showing you how to gorge on your favorite burgers and fries and fried chicken while actually accelerating your weight loss. I don't know about you, but my favorite part of this whole journey has been being able to track my progress and feel that sense of pride as the pounds melt off, which is why you'll love my patented Ultimate Revenge Diet Tracking System. This system lets you easily track your meals and track your progress so you can see in real time how your body and your attitude are transforming. The wonderful thing is that the more you track, the easier you'll find it to stay on the program and get the incredible results you want. Do you ever find yourself waking up achy and tired? I did for years before I discovered my perfect morning routine. I'll flat out give you the exact system I use to supercharge my body in the morning. Wipe away that morning fogginess and limber up without doing anything even remotely resembling exercise. So you feel supercharged before you even start your day. Oh, and of course, everything you get is comprehensive, fully tested, and easy to use. But I've always been a giver, and I've always loved to over-deliver. Which is why I also want to give you a free gift that you're welcome to keep forever, just as my way of saying thanks for trying the system out. Dieting and the Woman's Body. 12 secret tips for women only that allow you to lose weight faster than men. Here's my promise to you. Simply follow the Ultimate Diet Revenge program and you'll be shocked at how quickly you're able to lose unwanted weight. Get your confidence back and finally feel truly attractive and wanted again. Just like so many thousands of other women before you. Women like Sarah. And look at Sarah. She started with the Jump Start and lost 4 pounds in the first week. In the first month, she lost 17 pounds. And look at her. Doesn't she look terrific? Sarah, I'm so proud of you. Great work. So how do you get started getting your Ultimate Diet Revenge? By now, you're probably wondering how much you have to invest in the Ultimate Diet Revenge system. First off, I want to promise you it's not going to cost you anything close to what it cost me. If you've been listening to my story and you know that between all the fad diets, dangerous pills, and medical bills, I spent over $7,312 on my journey to creating this life-changing program. And even though that's a lot of money and money my family didn't really have, I have to say it was worth it. If I had to go back in time to when I was still fat and someone said they could wave a magic wand and make me get thin and stay thin so easily for even $7,000, I'd do it. I'd do it because losing that weight gave me my life back, gave me my family back, gave me energy and purpose. Of course, I'm not going to ask you to pay anything close to $7,000. I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I did. But ask yourself a question. If price really were no object, how much would it be worth to you to know your journey to find the answer is over? To know that you're on a path that has worked for thousands of women just like you. To know you'll never again have to feel guilty looking in the mirror, grabbing hold of your belly fat and feeling so bad about yourself because you're too weak to lose weight. If you're honest with yourself and nobody else is listening, I bet you'd be willing to pay a lot. Thousands of dollars like I would. Or at least hundreds of dollars, even if it was a little bit of a stretch. I mean, a good personal trainer alone would cost you hundreds of dollars a month and you'd still have to go to the gym. Magic pills can cost $600 or more a year and might almost kill you like they did for me. When I first created this program, a lot of experts told me I should charge at least $297 for access to the program. I was shocked by that price, but these experts told me that's what I had to charge because this program was so robust, so done for you, and so effective. They said it was the holy grail of women's weight loss, and that I'd be a fool for charging even 1 red cent less. But I guess I'm a fool, because I'm not going to ask you to pay anywhere near $297. See, I sent the experts packing and decided to try out offering you the entire Ultimate Diet Revenge program at a frankly crazy discount. Because I want this for you. I want this for every woman who has ever struggled with her weight or not liked who she saw in the mirror. And I'm hoping that once this gets out, I'll be able to sell enough that I'll be able to afford to keep the price low. This is my first time doing this. I have no idea if it'll work. So I'm not going to ask you for $297. I'm not going to ask you for $197. I'm not going to ask you for $97. I'm not going to ask you for $67. Nope. This might be a huge mistake on my part, but I want to let you have immediate access to the complete Ultimate Diet Revenge program and the sisterhood that has sprung up around it for just $37. If you added the real-world value of everything in this system together, it'd easily be $483. But you're lucky enough to be here right now. You'll get everything I've talked about for just $37. And all you have to do to finally take control and stop feeling like a failure every time some fad doesn't work for you is click the button below. Simply enter your credit card information on the next secured page and just take away every excuse you might have not to put yourself first and do this for yourself. I'm going to back up everything I've said with a truly astonishing guarantee. Here's how it works. Just click the button below and grab immediate access to the complete Ultimate Diet Revenge program and all the bonuses at your special discounted price. Listen, woman to woman, I know that sometimes the absolute hardest thing for you to do is to be selfish, to actually do something for yourself. Instead of giving and giving and giving to men and kids who never seem to appreciate everything you sacrifice for them, wishing that just for once they would actually say thanks. To put yourself first, just for once. Honestly, it makes me absolutely sick to think that you would deny yourself the massive, amazing change in your life that I've experienced and so many other women have experienced because of something as trivial as a couple of bucks. Or some weird feeling of guilt. Which is why I'm going to go out on a limb here for you and do something that might actually be a little bit stupid and could come back to bite me in the butt. By absolutely guaranteeing this program will work for you, no matter how many times you've been up and down the diet roller coaster before. Here's how it works. Simply click the big button below this video right now. On the next page, just enter your email so we know where to send your receipt and instructions, and then your credit card information. Just so you know, our online retailer that takes your payment uses the same technology as Amazon, so you know your information will be safe. Grab access to the Ultimate Diet Revenge program just like thousands of other women have. Use this stuff. Dig into the simple 7-day jumpstart that has you experiencing amazing weight loss results in just one short week. Discover the astonishing diet secret that turns back the clock on women's bodies and gives you back the energy and spark you had when you were in your 20s. Experience for yourself what it's like to wake up in the morning, look in the mirror, and find yourself crying because you can't believe how much slimmer, healthier, younger, and let's just say it, sexier you look. Feel what it's like to have men rubbernecking every time you walk down the street because they simply can't believe how hot you look. Catch that one special man in your life staring at you the way he used to all those years ago, the way you've wanted him to for so long. Take 60 full days to kick the tires, see what this amazing system really has to offer, and change your life. And then, and only then, after you've given me and the Ultimate Diet Revenge system the chance to transform your body without exercise, without depriving yourself, and while amazingly still getting to eat your favorite fast food, well then, if I haven't delivered on everything I've said in this short presentation, simply shoot me an email at my customer service address, and I'll refund every dime you've invested in yourself today. No questions asked. Listen, I don't know about you, but the way I was raised is to do right by people. And personally, I don't believe I deserve your money unless I over-deliver on my promises and unless you get truly astonishing results. Plus, I know from my own incredible experience of winning my husband back, what was deeply satisfying, more than I can even describe, and I'm a little embarrassed to admit this, was watching him literally beg to be with me again, practically gnawing his heart out at the mistake he made, and knowing that I now had the power. I had the ability to make the decision, on my terms, not his, to take him back. And I recognize that you might not want to go down that same path. You might decide not to take back that bastard in your life. But the point is, by becoming the best version of you, you now have control and you can do what is truly best for you. And from the over 16,000 women who have used this program and sent me ecstatic emails about it, finally finding something that was easy and finally finding something that really works, something that you're going to be absolutely thrilled when you feel what it's like to let this program take the wheel and take all the guesswork out of it. And to finally lose that weight and look amazing in this simple and almost automatic way. If you're like most people, you're going to see results and feel your belly shrinking within just a few short weeks. Which is why I don't feel like I'm really risking anything by giving you 2 full months to try the program out and see for yourself. Is it possible that some less than honest folks will take advantage of me? That they'll use this program and get every result I've promised here and then still ask for their money back? Sure. But fundamentally, I know that most people are honest and that when all is said and done, you're going to see the measly few dollars I'm asking you to invest in yourself today as an absolute bargain. To finally get off the weight loss roller coaster and to finally love who you see every time you look in the mirror. Again, all you have to do to get started is click the big button below this video and you'll be digging into every astonishing secret in this program just 2 short minutes from now. But you really do have to act right now. Remember, I'm offering the complete Ultimate Diet Revenge program, plus all of the valuable bonuses for just $37 to see if I can make it work. If I can't, if the math just doesn't add up, I may have to raise or maybe even double the price in the near future, even though I really don't want to. So please, if you leave today and then come back in a day or two and find the price is much higher, please don't write me begging me to be let in at the discount rate. If you let this pass through your fingers, there's simply nothing I can do. But if you're seeing this message right now, it means you can still grab the Ultimate Diet Revenge at the drastically discounted and some would say stupidly cheap rate. So just click the button below right now to get started. Oh, And do you want to know what finally happened with John? Eventually, I decided putting my family back together was the most important thing. But I made him work for it. First, I went on some dates of my own, just to feel again what it's like to be chased by a man, and for John to feel some jealousy and pain of his own. And I made him chase me too. He took me out on dates. He put away his damn phone. He paid attention to me. He even seduced me. I put my foot down and said if I was going to consider taking him back, he'd have to do something about the beer gut. And he did. He says I'm a changed woman. He treats me like a queen. And now, we're happier than we've ever been. That's my story. Now, it comes down to yours. And all you have to do to change the ending of your story forever is click the button below right now. Use your frankly ridiculous discount, invest in your happiness for once, and experience for yourself the astonishing change so many women already have. I can do almost everything for you. I can lay out the entire plan, take away all the guesswork, and give you the certainty you need to get the results so many others already have. But the only way I can help you is if you take action right now and click the button you see below. I can't wait to hear from you after you experience the simple, easy results that come with trying out the Ultimate Diet Revenge program. I can't wait to see the smile on your face in your after pictures as you realize you made the best choice of your life. I can't wait to read your emails raving about how your husband or your boyfriend seems focused on you in a way he hasn't been in so very long. Thank you so much for your time. Your friend, Joni. P.S. What are you waiting for? Click now and I'll see you on the inside.